Welcome to the Sunday service at CSLN. We are a welcoming and inclusive community of inspired individuals caring for and about each other and the entire planetary family. The Center for Spiritual Living Nashville offers spiritual tools for anyone seeking a more fulfilled and meaningful life through a deeper connection with a higher power or universal truths. Be sure to subscribe below if you enjoy our programs. Now let's join today's service.
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Nashville. I want to welcome all our in-house attendees today. Thank you. And all you watching our live stream and Facebook and on YouTube, welcome. The wonderful Esther Nicholson is here to deliver the message today. Yeah. And on behalf of all the members of the CSLN band, the support staff, the platform team, we all want to wish you a happy Mother's Day. For all those mothers who are here still with us and all those watching us on the other side, happy Mother's Day. Today we have two of Nashville's wonderful singer-songwriters who will be celebrating Mother with some beautiful original songs written by both of our featured vocalists. She is an enthusiastic, long-time member of the CSL community. She's an award-winning singer-songwriter. Today she'll be performing two songs that were written for her mother and all women. Please welcome Antoinette Olson. And this little guy, starting at the age of 12, yeah, well, little guy to me. He's like a kid. He has played with multiple bands. He has won multiple awards before moving to Nashville at the age of 18, like I said. He's written a beautiful song about his grandmother that we'll hear today also. Please welcome Gabe Berdulis.
Her hand rocks the cradle and rules the world. Nothing more powerful walks on this earth. The strength of her heart shines like a jewel. Like water she'll wear down the rocks of a fool. Like a river she runs, like a diamond she shines, through the tears she cries. Thank God for the woman who gave me life. With the weight on her shoulders, she'll take on more. Set her dreams aside yours. She shows us that beauty comes from inside. You can count on her words and trust her advice. Like a river she runs, like a diamond she shines. Through the tears she cries. Thank God for the woman who gave me life. When the world beats you down, you know where to come. Her heart is there waiting for you. She'll build you up, help you believe, forgive you and set you free. Like a river she runs, like a diamond she shines. Through the tears she cries. Thank God for the woman who gave me life. Thank God for the women who gave us life. God bless the woman who gave me life.
Let's please welcome board member Lucia Cooper-Smith.
Good morning, CSLN. Good morning, and happy Mother's Day. Antoinette, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to speak because tears were welling up at that song. It's absolutely beautiful. Thank you. All of you sound great. So, today is Mother's Day, and our Sacred Service team has a goodie for everybody who attended in person. And there are chairs set up outside for socializing if the weather permits. Oh, I'm so much shorter than everyone here today. Okay, thank you, Lynn. So there are chairs set up outside for socializing, weather permitting, and so everyone here, welcome and enjoy the goodies. For those of you online watching, we welcome all of you and thank you so much for your support. So we have a lot happening here. Here's the schedule for the week. On Monday, there is a Zoom meeting for the social events team at 7 p.m. For those of you who are new to our center, we operate with teams, and one of the teams is the social events team, and they are looking for people to join them to help plan social events for our community. If you go to our website and go to the teams section of the website, you'll see a list of all the teams. There's an outreach team known as the Caring Hearts. There's a marketing and communications team, the AV team, etc. So many teams, and whatever your skills are, we welcome your volunteerism to help us with this center. So on Tuesday, the Suggestions and Concerns team is meeting at 6 p.m. on Zoom. Check the website for that listing and Zoom address. If you have any suggestions at all, or you have any concerns about things that you would like to express, please submit a letter to the Suggestions and Concerns team. You can do that on the website, and they will be discussing it at the meeting at 6 p.m. Tuesday. The Caring Hearts is meeting at 6:30 on Tuesday, and the Women's Circle meets every Tuesday at 7 p.m. On Wednesday evening, we have our Soul Refresh service starting at 6:30, and on Thursday, we have Science of Mind 102 at 6:30 through May 27th with Dr. Mitch. It's still possible to join, and the missed classes are available on video. The cost is $100, and you can sign up on the website. And then on Saturday, the Creative Youth Team is meeting at 10 a.m. on Zoom. So the Zoom links to all of these events and meetings are on the website. Check the details there. And of course, they're also listed in the newsletter every week. So if you're not getting the newsletter, go to the website and sign up for that. It is a wealth of information about our center. Special thank yous to Bob Sadler for organizing the hike last Saturday, and to Mary Lou Cohen for organizing the meal last Sunday at the Blue Moon Grill. Both events were well attended and lots of fun. More events are coming in June. The board meeting is scheduled for Monday, May 17th from 6:30 to 8. Again, the Zoom link is on the website, and the agenda will be listed on the website as well. All are invited to attend the board meeting, and you're invited to speak at the beginning of the meeting. The Giving Circle still accepts gift cards, cash, checks for those in need. If you need assistance, please let us know so we may help you. There's a box at the center, or you can mail in donations and requests to the office. And if you know of someone that might be in need, please let the Giving Circle know, the Caring Hearts team know, and they would love to help someone that you know in our community that may need assistance. If you need a spiritual mind treatment, find our practitioners on the website. Just choose a practitioner by using the individual contact form and submit a request. And of course, stay connected and give love to our center and help us thrive by donating to lovecsln.com. And for all of you who are watching online, click that thumbs up. The more thumbs up we get, the better our algorithms are, and then we start getting free advertising on YouTube. So please click the thumbs up if you're watching online. Thank you so much, and again, happy Mother's Day to all.
I wrote this next one for my grandma, Kathy, a couple years ago, who's back in Madison, Wisconsin, where I'm from, and she raised a whole bunch of kids on that street, one of them being my mom. So this is going out to both of them today. I got a letter in the mail now, who writes those? You're the only one I know. You show up on the coldest days and warm my heart with the words you say. Wake up early, drink your coffee black. You walk to church and then you walk back. Even though I'm not there, I can feel you hug me with your prayers. Oh, Kathleen, you're the Mother Mary of Monroe Street. Oh, Kathleen, you're the patron saint of love in me. You love me good and you love me bad. You love me with everything you have. No matter who I've tried to be, you love me most for being me. Oh, Kathleen, you're the Mother Mary of Monroe Street. Patron saint of love in me. Ooh, 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 ooh. Over time things have changed, but your faith in me remains the same. Oh, Kathleen, you're the Mother Mary of Monroe Street. Oh, oh, Kathleen, you're the patron saint of love. And oh, Kathleen, you're the Mother Mary of Monroe Street. Oh, Kathleen, you're the patron patron saint of loving me. Oh, oh, Kathleen.
That's Gabe Berdulis. Great job, Gabe. Let's welcome, doing our reading, Gregory Fisher.
Yay, good morning. Wow. I turn around and there's a whole bunch of you. How nice. My name is Gregory Fisher. I'm a practitioner here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Nashville, and it is my great honor to read for you today. I just want to acknowledge Mother's Day can be a bittersweet. Well, I didn't know I was going to cry. I had 3 mothers. I had a woman that conceived and birthed me. I had a woman that adopted me. And I had a woman who was those 2 women's mother, my grandmother, who loved me. I said to my mother once, you know, it was hard growing up here. And she said, I hope you know you didn't come with an owner's manual. And she said, if you thought raising you was easy, you got another thing coming. In that moment, I was able to find peace. And I know Esther's going to talk a lot about it. So anyway, I want to acknowledge also that not everyone who is a mother gave birth to the child they raised. So let's acknowledge those people too. But here's a poem, if I can collect myself. I'm a big ball baby, you all know that, it's okay. By Maya Angelou, who always amazes me. Mother, a cradle to hold me. It is true I was created in you. It is also true that you were created for me. I owned your voice. It was shaped and tuned to soothe me. Your arms were molded into a cradle to hold me, to rock me. The scent of your body was the air perfumed for me to breathe. Mother, during those early, deepest days, I did not dream that you had a life larger, which included me, for I had a life which was only you. Time passed steadily and drew us apart. I was unwilling. I feared if I let you go, you would leave me eternally. You smiled at my fear, saying I could not stay in your lap forever. That one day you would have to stand, and where would I be? You smiled again. I did not. Without warning, you left me, but you returned immediately. You left again and returned. You left again, but again returned. Each time you re-entered my world, you brought assurance. Slowly I gained confidence. You thought you know me, but I did know you. You thought you were watching me, but I did hold you securely in my sight, recording every moment, memorizing your smiles, tracing your frowns. In your absence, I rehearsed you. The way you had of singing on a breeze, with a sob lay at the root of your song. The way you posed your head so that the light could caress your face. When you put your fingers on my hand and your hand on my arm, I was blessed with a sense of health, of strength, and very good fortune. You were always the heart of happiness to me, bringing nuggets of glee, sweets of open laughter. I loved you even during the years when you knew nothing, and I knew everything. I loved you still. Condescendingly, of course. From my high perch of teenage wisdom, I spoke sharply of you often because you were slow to understand. I grew older and was stunned to find how much knowledge you had gained. And so quickly, Mother, I have learned enough now to know I have learned nearly nothing. On this day, when mothers are being honored, let me thank you that my selfishness, ignorance, and mockery did not bring you to discard me like a broken doll. I thank you that you still find something in me to cherish, to admire, and to love. I thank you, Mother. I love you. Oh, let's go inward. Let's go inside, shall we? Breathing deeply, finding our center, knowing that place in us that is connected now and always connected to something that is all and in all and through all and as all. In that place where I'm connected to everyone, and therefore I'm connected in this moment to my mother, to every mother. Today I honor that energy that nurtures, that creates, that brings forth life, that breathes life, that gives of itself sacrificially, knowing a higher and better calling. I know today that it manifests in so many different ways, but it is always good and high and true. And I allow it to nurture me right now in this moment. Anything that looks different than this, any idea that I hold of something different than this is a misunderstanding, and I let it go. It doesn't serve me. And I return to that place where I openly, arms stretched wide, say, love me, heal me, nurture me, provide for me, and I in turn will do the same. I am so grateful today. I know the power of gratitude in my life and in the lives of those people around me, and so I say thank you, thank you, thank you for life, for love, for healing, for nurture. I believe these words are true. I apply them to my life, and I know that they will have their perfect outworking in my life, in my soul. I let it be so, and so it is.
Thank you, Gregory.
So I wrote this song for my mother, Evelyn Olison Jensen. She's watching today. Hi, Mom. And I want to send it out to all mothers and all women and grandmothers. And when I grew up, my mom used to make all our clothes, and we would go thrift shopping and we'd remake them. And she stayed up till 3 in the morning, and I could hear that sewing machine. And that's my mom. I hope I can make it through this. I remember late at night on the edges of my sleep, Mama's singer humming through the wall. And when the morning light would come, all those dated thrift store finds would look just like the fashions at the mall. Mama found my dresses on the Goodwill rack. I would stand there and she'd pin them up my back. There were pants to hem and stocking hose to make. secondhand. Mama's love was never secondhand. Looking through a dusty drawer, I found my mother's button box that I used to play with as a kid. I pretended I was rich, that I held treasure in my hands, and now I understand I really did. Mama found my dresses on the Goodwill rack. I would stand there and she'd pin them up my bed. There were pants to have and stocking holes to mend, but Mama's love was never secondhand. No, no, Mama's love was never secondhand. She would put her needs aside. She would always put me first. If she could, she would have given me the world. Mama found my dresses on the Goodwill rack. I would stand there and she'd pin them up my bed. There were pants to have and stocking holes to mend, but Mama's love was never secondhand. No, Mama's love was never secondhand. Thank you. And thank you, Mom, and all mothers.
Let's welcome today's host, Alan Woodard.
Good morning. So how's the service so far? Yes, very, very heartfelt. This morning I'm your host. I'm also a practitioner here, and we'll be doing the closing treatment. But at this point in time, I am going to introduce to you our guest speaker. Our guest speaker is the author of Soul Recovery, 12 Keys to Healing Dependence, which turned her incredible journey from addiction to freedom into a practical program that heals the root causes of unworthiness, shame, and trauma. Her life-changing program, Soul Recovery, The Roadmap Home, bridges the gap between the 12 steps of recovery and universal spiritual practices that have assisted thousands in living a new inner freedom beyond their wildest dreams. Esther's unique approach reveals the spiritual depth and healing power of the 12 steps and removes the stigma of addiction. It is my great pleasure to introduce Esther Nicholson.
I'm so glad you're here to help me up these steps. You try getting up these steps with these heels on. Hello, Nashville Center for Spiritual Living. It's so good to be here. I haven't seen you in a while. So thank you so much for having me. I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, grandmothers, godmothers, aunties, and for anyone who's mentored and nurtured a child. The title of my talk today is Heal the Mother Wound and Rediscover the Divine. I'd first like to acknowledge that there are many of you in the audience, there are many of you watching this presentation who have experienced a deep bond and connection with your mother, all of these beautiful songs about those kind of bonds and connections and relationships with your mom. We want to celebrate that. We absolutely want to celebrate that. But there may be some of you in the audience today or watching this presentation who may be finding it difficult and challenging to celebrate the day. So I want to acknowledge all of it. We want to celebrate all of it. We want to celebrate those wonderful bonding, very clear connections to your mom, and we want to celebrate the mother wound, because the mother wound can be transformed. That as we are transformed by the renewing of our minds, that all relationships can be healed. I understand because I've experienced both sides with my mother, who made her transition many years ago. I experienced abuse. I experienced neglect. And then she made her transition. And for a lot of years, I was so angry. And I blamed her for every failed relationship. I blamed her for all of my pain. I was totally shut down and cut off from her emotionally. And then, through the 20 million inventories I did on my mother, and lots of prayer and humility and openness, because I was so tired of walking around in my own story. I was so sick and tired of walking around that kind of pain, that I felt a shift in my consciousness. I felt an opening that had been there all the time, but if I wasn't available to it, I couldn't experience it. Can I get an amen? So as I opened myself up, I started feeling the presence of my mother and getting visitations from her, which I'd probably been getting all the time, but I couldn't see. And then I got to a place of where I was blind, now I see. And as she was trying to show her love, even from the other side of the veil, I was shut down from it. I was still angry. If you couldn't love me in life, I say, how could you love me in death? And I was still shut down from it. But I want to share with you later how this transformation happened, how this reconnection happened. But it could only happen with my mother because it happened within myself. And sometimes we try to connect with a person outside of ourselves before reconnecting with ourselves, with the divine mother within, with the truth within, with the authentic nature of who we are within. That's a very difficult way to go, isn't it? So I'd like to talk a little bit about the mother wound. I think it's important to acknowledge that today. I share with you how I believe the mother wound, the seed of the mother wound, happened. I believe that there is a soul contract, that there is a divine agreement, just like in that reading that Gregory just did about Maya Angelou. There's a soul agreement before you even enter into your mother's womb, into incarnation, that there is a spiritual and a soul agreement. She agreed to mother you. She agreed to be your host. She agreed to be the channel, even if she wasn't cognizant of it. And you agreed, your soul, to choose this woman and this particular family. And as you incarnated into your mother's womb, she became your God. She was your God. She was your first connection. She became your God, your shining star, and your first love. She is your first love. And then you were born into her environment. You were born into her world. God, Gregory, that talk was so amazing. You were born into a world that she had that was bigger than you, yet she was your only world. Your first love. But then the first trauma, the first shock to your psyche that's connected to your mother creates what I call the first cut. You've heard that song by Sheryl Crow. The first cut is the deepest. Even if we're not conscious in that moment that that a fracture has happened in our consciousness. And I remember when my first fracture happened, my first traumatic experience, and trauma is relative. Because what may be trauma to me might not be traumatic to you. But I remember my dad was a Baptist minister, and from the age of, being a toddler to maybe 4 years old, he'd take me to Sunday school with him. That was probably about 9 o'clock in the morning. And then my mother would show up for the noon service, for the main service. And every time she would show up for the main service, she would bring my animal cookies, and I'd get to take a nap on her lap. That was the deal. And then one Sunday, after I hit like 4 years old, she didn't bring my animal cookies. And nobody prepared me for that. Nobody told me, you're not getting animal cookies from this day forward, right? And then when I went to lay on her lap, she pushed me away and said, you're too big for that. Well, nobody prepared me for that. I didn't hear that she was saying, you're a big girl now. And I need you to learn how to stay awake during service. I didn't hear her say, you're a big girl now. You can wait until Sunday lunch. You can wait for Sunday lunch until we get home. I didn't hear that. I heard, I'm too big for your love. I've gotten too old for your love. You don't love me anymore. I'm not good enough anymore. I'm bad. What's wrong with me? What did I do? And that illusion, those illusions stayed with me for so long in many different relationships. What did I do? I must be bad. Something must be wrong with me. So I'm not here to deny or affirm your relationships with your mothers, whatever they may be or whatever they may have been. I am here to support you in shifting the perspective about the experiences you've had with your mother. The experience may be factual. And then the perception that you took on about yourself and your mother, that perception has been the driver in your life and in all of your relationships. But I want to tell you that through the transformation of your mind, through the reconnection to your divine self, the real you, the real mother, your real source is within there. Yes? Yes. So I'd like to talk about the many different aspects of motherhood and the different relationships that you may have. So I want to talk about the natural mother, the neighborhood mother, the mother whose love was never secondhand and who would stay up all night long sewing your outfits, the mother who just it appeared to be so easy. She just loved you. She was your best friend. She was your buddy. She was your everything. I want to thank those mothers. I want to thank you for being such a mama bear to everyone, not even your own children, but to everyone. I want to thank those mama bears. And then I want to acknowledge those critical and judgmental mothers. Those mothers where you feel like you can never do anything right, and who's overbearing, and who gets on your very last nerve. Anybody in here have a mother like that? No. So I just want to say, even though it may not appear to you, that she loves you and that she gets you. Rock bottomly, fundamentally, she loves you so much. She loves you so much, and she is fighting her hardest that you don't make the mistakes that she's made. She is fighting her hardest for you to have the amazing, wonderful things in life that she never had. So I want to thank you, mothers. I want to celebrate you too for being so overbearing, for getting on our very last nerve, and for pushing us to be so much more than we knew we could be. I celebrate those kind of mothers as well. And then there are the single mothers, the single hard-working mothers who may be holding down 2 to 3 jobs, taking care of her children. She may even be taking some classes, some college classes, so that she can increase her education and the possibility of giving her children an even better life. And then during the unprecedented times of COVID, she might even be homeschooling. I want to say to you mothers that are holding it down like that, I want to congratulate you. I want to celebrate you for being so incredibly fierce that you're willing to do anything to support your family, to support your children. We celebrate you. We love you. And there are the new mothers who have absolutely no clue as to what they're doing. Yeah? They're exhausted, overwhelmed, and their hormones are doing the cray-cray dance. They're sleep deprived, they're confused, they're new, and all the while trying to figure out how to do it perfectly for this baby, how to be the perfect mother. And I want to say to you mothers, you new mothers out there that's going through that right now, I want to say to you, give yourself a break. Hello. I want to say to you, give yourself a break. Ask for help. Take some time to do some radical self-care. You're doing great. And all is well. Relax. Let's celebrate those mothers too. And then there are the teenage, emotionally broken, wounded mothers that might even be drug addicts. I was that mother who was ill-equipped emotionally, mentally, physically to be a mother. I had nothing to give my child. And you've heard that saying that you can't give what you don't have. And my woundedness from my mother wounded my child. But I want to talk a little bit later about transformation. Can we say transformation? Change my thinking. Change my life. And I am so grateful every day that I get to make it right with my daughter. That I get to tell her while I am in this body temple and while she's in this body temple, I get to look at her in her face and say, Shanti, it was never your fault. Think of your child. Think of your child and any mistakes that you've ever made. And I just want you to go inwardly and say, it wasn't your fault. I want you to think about the mistakes that your mom made. And I want you to say to yourself, it wasn't my fault. So I thank all the teenage mothers who have absolutely no clue as to what they're doing, who might even be resentful and resistant to having this baby because she's so scared. I want to say thank you, beautiful. Thank you, teenage mother. Whatever space you're in right now, I want to thank you for being the channel for this child who chose you. Even though you might be thinking it's the worst thing that ever happened to you, there's a divine appointment here. There's a divine appointment here. There's infinite possibility here. That if you stay open, it's going to reveal itself in a way that you've never imagined. And then there are the mothers who have 3-car garages and the big, beautiful homes and the husband and support and all of that. And it seems like, oh my God, it's so easy for them. I wish I had what they have. But when you talk to a few of them, which I've been doing this week, they're like, oh my God, girl. There are days I have no idea what I'm doing. And I'm so overwhelmed and I'm so exhausted. And it's hard. It's hard, even with all of the support. It's hard to raise these children. Even with my husband, it's hard to raise these children. So I want to celebrate you too. That even though you look great and everything seems like it's in order and all of that, you are juggling so much. You're juggling your marriage, you're juggling your children, you're homeschooling, you're juggling your career, you're juggling your health. You are a badass. And I want to celebrate you, and I want to thank you. And then there's my mother. Last but not least, there's my mother, who is spiritually disconnected, emotionally dysfunctional, and physically overwhelmed. And she took it out on me every chance she got. My God, the love of my life, shocked and wounded me. But spiritual transformation makes it clear, Mom, my mom within me, that you did the best you could with what you had and what you knew. Thank you, Mom, for being my angel disguised as my enemy. Without you and our perfect set of circumstances, our perfect connection that it didn't seem so perfect at the time, I would never have become the woman and healer that I am today. I needed you. I needed your abuse. I needed your neglect. Something in there formed Esther. I didn't see it at the time, but I get it now. A mother can distort the concepts and perceptions that you hold about yourself, or she can affirm the reality of your worthiness, your value, talents, and unique abilities. She can affirm your deservingness of all the good of the universe. But I want to say to you, those of you watching, live streaming right now, and those of you in the audience right now, that even if she doesn't affirm you, you can start from this day forward to affirm yourself. You can recover and rediscover the divine mother within you, the divine omnipotent, omnipresent power and presence that created you before you incarnated in your mother's womb. Can I get an amen? In Jeremiah 1st chapter, 1st verse, it states, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you." I want to say that again. Spirit, God, life, the infinite says, before I formed you in your mother's womb, you were. Before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart as a unique expression of all that there is. I appointed you as a prophet of the nations. Do you know that within each and every one of us, there's a prophet of the nations? There's a prophet of your own individual life. You may not have had the ideal relationship with your mom. You may have had the ideal relationship with your mom. But independent of either of those circumstances, there's a prophet within you. You have been set apart. Hey, I have called you by name and you are mine. Wow, when I go into meditation and I really get that, it's like, the Divine Mother that is constant, ever present, right where I am, that loves me with the love, and I've experienced this love that brings me to my knees in absolute joy and ecstasy and such safety. That my mother didn't have the human tools to give me. Your mom may not have had the human tools to give you. But it was always within you. Say, it's always been within me. Is that proper grammar, Gregory? Yes. It's within me. It's within me. So let me talk to you about how my transformation happened. So like I said, my mom made her transition many years ago, and she's been trying to get through. She's been trying to say, I'm not that woman anymore. I'm free. And I'm just pure love for you, and I just purely support you. And I shut it down, saying, if you couldn't love me in life, how can you love me in death? And what supported my transformation with my mother was actually my transformation with my daughter. Because you see, for many years, when I finally became an adult and when I finally got into recovery, I then thought I had the right and the authority to control my daughter's life. To make her do this, to make her do that, to change her. If only you would do this, and if only you would do that. And I would hear, when I would call her on the phone, this big sigh of, like she didn't really want to talk to me. Why would someone want to talk to you when every time you spoke with them, you felt the judgment, you felt the criticism? But I didn't understand that. I was only telling her this for her own good. I remember one day I went to Whole Foods, I was shopping, and I left my phone in the car. And this bright idea came into my mind that said, oh, I have another idea that I need to share with my daughter on how she should run her life. I couldn't wait to get out of Whole Foods so I could get to my phone. And I'm walking in the parking lot to my car, and I get to my phone. But before I could get to my car, let's back it up a minute. Before I could get to my car, Spirit stopped me in my tracks, right in the middle of the Whole Foods parking lot. People must have thought I was crazy because I was like this. And I heard, felt, experienced the voice of God saying to me, if she never changes, if she never does it your way, if she stays exactly as she is, can you love her the way God loves her? Can you love her the way Jesus loves her? And I was like, and like the moment that came through, I was like, oh, like in the middle of Whole Foods parking lot. In that moment, I was transformed. In that moment where I was blind, now I could see. It's like, oh, wow, I've been doing that to her. And I get to my car and I call her. I could hear the hesitancy in her voice because she was just over me. And the words that came out of my mouth were, hi, sweetheart, how are you doing today? Tell me about your day. How are you? She might have said 2 or 3 words because she still doesn't trust me. And I said, okay, I love you. Just know mommy's here. She hung up in shock. She's like, what? And I did that every day. I just let go. It's like, if you want to tell me something, if you want to share something with me, I'm here. I love you. How are you today? Tell me about you. You tell me about you instead of me telling you about you. And I got to tell you now that the relationship with my beloved daughter is the best relationship I've ever had. Look at the transformation from that 16-year-old pregnant girl to the relationship that we have today. So this helped me with the transformation with my mother. Because I'm like, Spirit said to me, as I was resisting my mother, if you can change, Esther, with your daughter, what makes you think that whatever dimension your mother resides, that she hasn't been transformed? And that she can't love you with the love that you've never imagined? Transformation. So no matter what experience you've had with your mother, there's an opening within you. There's a divine mother within you. There's divine forgiveness within you. There's a divine softening within you that can change everything. Not from the outside, but from the inside. So here are some preliminary steps to awaken to the Divine Mother. Woo, here's the first one. Release of control. Can you do that? Release of control of the beliefs, actions, and patterns of your mother and children. Just repeat that after me. Release control. Letting go. Setting myself free. Setting them free. That's number one. Number two, see yourself as beautiful, capable, worthy, valuable, safe. See this higher concept of yourself, independent of anything or anybody. I want everyone to just take a breath right now. Inhale deeply. Blow it out. I want you to just imagine, even if you could hold it for 10 seconds. Imagine that you know that you're worthy. Imagine that all the guilt and shame has fallen away from your consciousness. Imagine that you feel safe, no matter what, independent of circumstances. That's the divine within you. No one can give that to you, and no one can take it away. Feel that energy, feel that shift in your frequency. I'm worthy, I'm safe, I'm enough. All the guilt and shame has fallen away from me. I am God. And the third one, forgive your mother. Forgive your child. Forgive yourself. And I want you to understand that forgiveness is a process. And when teachers talk about forgiveness, without really explaining that it's a process, it's not going to happen overnight. But the moment you say yes to it, that everything that you need to see the truth that will set you free will begin to unfold. Just say within, I forgive you, Mother. I forgive you, my child. I forgive myself for all the mistakes I've ever made. I forgive myself. This is who you are. This is God's highest vision of you. Catch it. Catch a glimpse of the mothership who's been there all the time within you. She is you. So happy Mother's Day to every single mother that I've described and for those that I didn't get to. In fact, I want us to all stand up and give a standing ovation to every type of mother, to every type of mother, to every type of relationship. It is a divine appointment. It is a divine connection. It is a divine relationship. There are no bad relationships. There are divinely appointed relationships. And now you can tap into the divine appointment of your relationship to yourself. Happy Mother's Day. So before I go, I just want to share with you how you can stay connected with me. If there's anyone in here who's been touched and wants to go deeper into this reconnecting to your soul, reconnecting to your source, then please just email me at esther@esthernicholson.com. To become a part of the Soul Recovery Tribe, to get really powerful content, just go to Esther Mail, and that's Esther without an H, esthermail.com. And my book, Soul Recovery, which I would usually bring to the service so I could sign a copy for you. Make sure you go to amazon.com and order the book, Soul Recovery, 12 Keys to Healing Dependence. It is my honor and it's my pleasure to be here with you today to celebrate every kind of mother. Amen.
Give another hand for Esther Nicholson. So now it's time in our service to get back to what serves us. And if you haven't had a chance yet, please make a contribution online, or you can mail a check here to the street address. And at this time, say this with me: divine love as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And so we want to thank you today for joining us. If you would like to have a spiritual mind treatment after this service, Gregory's here and I'm here, and to be glad to work with you if you'd like, or you can also leave. I think there's some blue cards on the aisle, on the pews back there, and we have a box outside the foyer here, or in the hallway, where you can put that in there, and we have practitioners that would love to do treatment work for you. Also this week at the Soul Refresh at 6:30 on Wednesday, Gregory Fisher will be there, and would love to have you join us on Zoom for that. And if you have any support at any time, contact one of our practitioners, again at the website CSLNashville.org. So I'm going to close with a prayer treatment, and then the band will lead us out. So know with me, there is one mind, one heart, one spirit, and one divine presence expressing through all life, and it's expressing through me as my life. And I declare that the divine is operating through me, seeing me connected to my higher self, knowing that I am worthy and that I am enough, leading to continued spiritual growth and peace and harmony as I navigate through each day. And I release any control, letting go of anything that sets me free, that would hold me back from this renewal, this rebirth, this new life. And it causes me to look inward to the principles of the science of mind, knowing love is the way by supporting me, encouraging me, healing me, surrounding me with beauty and grace. I experience this love and light with each breath I take. In each moment through my breath, I express courage, patience, wisdom, and a greater awareness of all the wonderful gifts and opportunities I am presented by the divine Spirit. And I say, thank you, God, for this. Thank you. And I rejoice in this knowing, and I accept this truth to be who I am, and who I am is whole, perfect, and complete in every way. Thank you, Spirit, for this one magnificent life, my life. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Ellen. Everybody have a great Mother's Day today, okay? Mr. Spence, count us off.
Came from the ashes when we were broken. Now we're standing on mountains, eyes wide open. Start and not the end. We get through it all. We gotta stick together. Leave it all behind, find something better. Oh, 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 oh. We're coming alive. Oh, 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 oh. We're coming alive. It's time to make a spark, and it's time to light up the dark. Singing like oh. Shadows, braving the unknown, looking all around but we're not alone. Just trying to get back, things won't look the same, you see. It's time to make a brand new story. Oh, 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 we're coming alive. Oh, 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 we're coming alive. It's time to make and it's time to light up the dark, singing like oh, 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 we're coming alive. We came from the ashes when we were broken. Now we're climbing up mountains, eyes wide open. Oh, 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 we're coming alive. Oh, 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 we're coming alive. It's time to make a spark, and it's time to light up the dark, singing like oh, 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 we're coming alive. Oh, 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 we're coming alive. Oh, 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 we're coming alive. It's time to make a spark, and it's time to light up the dark, and we're singing like oh.
Spiritual Living Nashville. May your life be filled with joy and prosperity in every way. Learn more about our programs or contact one of our practitioners at our website, cslnashville.org. You may also want to follow us on Facebook at CSLNASH. You can make a big difference with your financial gift at loveCSLN.com. Please share the link to this program with a friend and join us again next Sunday. Have a wonderful week.